So now I have your attention with my catchy title, there are some important things about Arena that I do want to talk about. And before I start, there are some things I should mention to the people that are going to be making excuses for a video like this. And that is why. What do you have to gain by defending Wizards, or specifically defending Arena? Or even simply just not wanting more from the things that you invest money in? The point is that I'm sick of having to prerequisite criticism videos with, oh, just remember this is just my opinion, or, you know, I like Magic really, guys. Well, fucking no shit. This should go without saying. Like, this is a Magic channel, and if I didn't like Magic, why the fuck would I have a Magic channel? And even if I didn't like Magic, why would that factor into what I'm saying, whether it's correct or not? And I've seen this for myself, like if you don't say these things before the video starts, you just get waves of people having a wholly different reaction as long as you say it's just your opinion and like just for criticism, etc. Like, point is, you should just know this, okay? So if you can't handle criticism about Magic, or I guess anything, then just stop watching the video, because this video is not for you. If you can't talk about things like an adult, then just stop watching. And if your point is going to be, well, Arena has only been out for a year, just stop, right? It just doesn't fucking matter how long. It could be out for 5 minutes. It doesn't change what I'm gonna say, whether it's an issue or not. This video is simply highlighting some desirable things that realistically should be put into Arena. Things that could even just be considered basic things for a game such as this. And when Yu-Gi-Oh's 2 free community-built platforms have some of these features, I think it's fair to say that they should be implemented. So yeah, now I've gotten all that fucking setting the video up shit out the way, let's just get into my points. Point number 1, and that is performance. And I think no matter how much of a die-hard Arena apologist you may be, I think this is a point we can all get behind. The performance in Arena is extremely bad. Now, my PC isn't the best by all means, but it certainly is not the worst. Like, after playing this game for an hour, the whole thing just grinds to a fucking halt. That basically just results in you having to restart the game. Now, I mean, realistically, it's not that big a deal, but it is a problem, and it's something that can be improved. Especially for me, like when I'm streaming the game or whatever, having to restart the client because the whole thing's just falling apart. Like, come on, we should be past this kind of thing at this point. Like, sure, like come on. Point number 2. Again, this is a point that I think you will all agree with, and that is there should be ways, or at least any way, some way for you to sort your decks. Whether it be manually, or by A to Z, or by relevant, or something. Just some way of sorting your decks, because currently the system is fucking horrible. When you import a new deck, there should just be like a most recently imported deck, like right at the top, or show more decks, or be able to see more decks in the screen. Currently is fucking atrocious. I absolutely hate it. It needs to change. Following on from this, a way of being able to delete decks faster than one at a time, especially coupled with the performance issues, is, oh my god, what a painful process. Why can't I just click and drag and bang, there they go, like fucking hell. I would actually make a bet that it's probably faster to somehow dig into an ini file and just delete them that way than it is the process that you need to go through, but this is something that I would very much appreciate, is just better deck sorting user interface. The user interface isn't bad for the most part, but there's also other kind of weird user interface issues. The way they've like labeled and sorted the game types and modes that you can play just seems really weird and inconsistent to me. So yeah, fix that as well. Anyway, point number 3, and this is actually a point that I see a lot of people talk about, a friends list. The ability to add people that you've maybe just played, or a list of all the people that you have played, and you can add them that way, and you can see when they're online, and what they're playing, and what they're doing. That would be really cool. Which brings me on to point 4, and this is a point that I think that it's getting to the point now where some people are going to say that they don't want this. However, you are wrong if that is your opinion, but I also don't think this will ever be implemented, but I think some kind of chat function would be amazing. Realistically, what's the point in a friends list if you can't actually speak to people, so you can't really make friends? Maybe you could have like an opt-in system where both players have the opt to chat option on, and if they click it then they can talk to each other freely. You could even have it that if you add someone, there's like a private chat in client. That could also work that way. If you're playing against someone, you can add them and speak to them that way. That way there's, you can just straight up veto anyone. But I think that the opt-in option would be perfect. I know there's plenty of people in the Magic community that can't be arsed with trolling and stuff like that. personally, I don't give a shit. It's just part of playing games, right? So, I mean, I've grew up in the golden age of gaming, so I can handle trolling. But I guess some people don't have quite as thick skin. But the point is that I think for the most part, it's actually just going to be a beneficial thing, because there's so many people that I'm playing against that I would be like, what the fuck is your deck? Send me it. And I will never get that chance. So, yeah, that I'd quite like friends list and subsequently chat. So point number 5, just fix the shuffler. Just please fix the fucking shuffler, for the fucking god. Like, there is no way the shuffler is random. Like, what the fuck is the shuffle algorithm? Because that just does not emulate real life shuffling in any which way. Like, at no point, yeah, I get once in a blue moon you'll only draw 4 planes when most of your deck isn't 4 planes. But like, the amount of times these statistical anomalies keep coming up just proves that it doesn't work. Like, fuck. Jesus Christ, please fix it. What else can I say? Just fix it. So point number 6 is wild cards. So there is an issue with the wild card system in Arena, especially compared to when you look at stuff like, I guess, Hearthstone, which is the best, closest example. A problem is that you can't turn cards you don't use or don't want into new wild cards like you can in Hearthstone, where you can turn cards into dust and then spend that dust on new cards. Or a more basic version of that is that you can't turn a mythic wild card into, say, at least 2 rare cards. Like, there's no way, like, I don't know how you couldn't justify spending a mythic on a rare, but even at that, you still can't do it, and it feels very strange that you aren't able to. Realistically, 1 mythic wild card should be worth at least 4, I would say 6 rares. Another problem is that we end up with fucking thousands of common and uncommon wild cards, but barely any rare and mythic ones. Now look, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting the free-to-play element of the game to just be a breeze. Again, they need to make money. I hate capitalism as much as you do, but fuck it, Wizards need to make money. But there certainly are massive barriers in the way for allowing new players to actually have fun with the game. I've experienced this as well, and I don't even play it on my own account anymore. I play on Sam's account, who did manage to do the whole draft grind, and he's grinded out most of the cards in the game, and we've pooled all our money together and share one account. The problem being is that the average player is never going to realistically be in this, like, particular group of people, i.e. me. The amount of money that you actually need to spend in order to get all the cards in any one set is like, it's round about £200. Now, £200 every single set is just far, far too much. It's for the average user especially. However, if you're able to turn some of your less wanted rares into rares that you do want, this would allow people to actually be able to play the cards that they actually just want to be able to fucking play. I think this barrier is going to be extremely off-putting for a lot of people. I know a lot of people that just don't play Arena, despite being in the demographic that realistically should be playing Arena. And I think that this is probably part of it, because they already spend the money on paper. Why are they going to spend it in Arena when they're not actually getting anything out of it, technically? I really think that adding this element, whether Wizards of the Coast might not necessarily make more per person, but I do think that it would encourage more people to play because it's a little bit more lenient. And this means that you can buy some packs, and yeah, you'll get cards that you might not want, but that doesn't matter so much because you can turn those cards into the cards that you want a lot easier. I get that it should be like 1-for-1 value, but there are a lot of jank rares that you go, I am sick of seeing this fucking thing, I'm never going to play it. I can turn at least an amount of them into something that I do want to play. Now this brings me on to point number 7 quite well actually, and that is the problem with lands in Arena. As I just said, we can all agree it's pretty difficult to get to a sort of playable stage, and basically impossible if you're playing for free, unless you're just grinding drafts and you're just amazing at drafting. But the thing is that again, if you're a new player, you're not going to really be that good at drafting, so you can't really do the draft grind. It's shit. But the biggest issue that I've personally encountered along this particular line of thought, the biggest issue is trying to acquire all the lands in order to be able to play. And I've also seen a few people actually say that they wish that this feature was implemented into Arena. It's just, there's like a bit of a dissonance where I really don't want to be putting wild cards into cards that essentially don't do anything. It's just not a fun process. It's just not a great feeling having to put your wild cards into cards like this, especially because things like the shock lands are just straight up like you just need them to exist in your deck if you want to be able to play at any kind of, not even necessarily competitive, just consistent level. This is why I propose whenever a new like set comes out, the Wizards should just be giving all the lands in that set as 4-ofs to just all the players automatically. This just allows the players to actually just get straight into the game with playing new and exciting cards, because lands are just never exciting. Like, you know, what would I rather play? Oh god, I need to get these lands. Or Oko, Questing Beast, Wicked Wolf, fun cards, but lands aren't fun. And I really begrudge having to get them. That's kind of the point I'm making, you know? Like, even if you don't have 4-ofs of all the best things and mythics and rares, still when you get that one wild card, if you're a newer player, you can go, oh cool, I can buy this new powerful card, or I buy a land just so I can play the game. It's just not great. Like, getting all the shock lands is one tedious as fuck journey, and it seriously put me off playing. It took me like a month to be able to get a mono red deck to play, and then you need to understand that I could only play mono red, and that was it. I had fucking nothing else. It's extremely tedious and extremely off-putting. And another thing to mention is it doesn't feel worth investing the money in. So as an example, why would I put even £20 in to try and get the lands that I need, when realistically, what, £20 is just not even slightly enough to get you the things that you need. You can put £200 in to just about get everything in a set. So what, a tenth of that? There's just no way. There's just no way that you're gonna get the card that you need. Whereas I feel the process would be a little bit more friendly if you have the lands already there. So, you know, if you're buying packs, everything that you're getting is gonna at least be like a cool new monster, a powerful new spell, not a boring old shitty fucking land that I have to get in order to be able to play my deck. Point number 8, Brawl on a Wednesday only. Why are you doing this? Like, I think we can all agree how exceptionally fucking dumb Wizards are for doing this. They are just hell-bent on destroying their own format, along with like this and the artificial scarcity of the Brawl decks. Especially when, talking about newer players, Brawl is easily one of the best formats for newer players. Easily, if it is a great format, I genuinely think it's a great format. This is coming from a person that thinks Commando's fucking terrible. Brawl, however, is perfect, because you only need one of any card, and this totally ties into the logic that I'm making things fun for new players. You don't even need to acquire a full set of, like, say, a Questing Beast for your Brawl deck. You just need the one, and you can put it in, and automatically your deck's better. So, you know, buying packs actually becomes fun then, because you go, oh, something good, I can put it in. But what they're doing with Brawl is just completely counterintuitive. It's insane. Now, you know, I'll give them their due. I really like the fact that, like, every week or so it seems like we've got this cool new fun side format thing to play on Arena. That is something that I fucking love about Arena, if I'm being totally honest. That is big props for the effort that they're putting into that. But this is kind of the thing. Like, the excuse for not having Brawl as a permanent thing is because they don't want to mess up the standard focused thing. But they give us every week something new and wacky to play. Like, come on. Point number 9. Now this is actually a little bit less to do with specifically Arena, but I think we can definitely all get behind this point. And this is the lack of LCG integration between Arena and, well, I guess LCGs. Here is a free tip for you Wizards. So there are 3 demographics. People that will only play Arena and they don't play Paper at all. People that play Paper and Arena, which I would assume is the biggest demographic. And then there are people that don't play Arena at all. Now the thing is that you want to really be appealing to all 3 of these in a good way, especially the people that don't play Arena. You want to get them to play Arena. Now me, as a player, entering a physical tournament, why the fuck am I not getting at least a few digital packs per tournament that I enter? Why am I not getting that? You have this ability which stands you leaps and bounds ahead of Hearthstone, and you're not implementing it. And the thing is that I know that you can do it, and we'll get to that. I am supporting Wizards by going to LCG stores and entering tournaments, and I'm getting nothing back for that, realistically. This could easily be solved by integrating your DCI email with Arena, and then anytime you enter a tournament, it just goes, oh, he's in a tournament, bang, there you go, there's a pack for your troubles. Seems great to me. Now, if you make the digital reward good enough, such as like a pack per win or a pack per X, whatever the fuck the DCI points are called, it would encourage paper-only players to play online. It could encourage players to potentially spend more online in order to prepare for their paper tournaments, because they know there's like a bit of a feedback loop going in, you know, in this process. You feed into paper, it feeds into online. You feed into online, it feeds into paper. And it could also allow people that only play online to then take the plunge to play paper. And at the very least, if none of this applies to literally anybody, it at least makes Wizards look good. And currently they really fucking need that. And the reason why I know that they can do this is in the new Eldraine promo packs, as I mentioned in one of my early videos. They give you, in one promo pack, a fucking code for Arena. One code for Arena per promo pack, and you can only use 5 of them. Far too little. Far too little. So, point number 10. This is the last point, and it is a bit of a long one, and it's, again, a point that isn't directly feeding into Arena, but it's clearly very relevant, and you'll see what I mean. This is one of the times that I will give Wizards benefit of the doubt, but even then, not really. The split between Pioneer and Historic format, while I understand it, it just seems just a bit dumb and not a lot of thought went into it. Wizards have a bit of format fatigue going on just now, and I will say it's not great. They have a lot of formats floating about and not a huge amount of support. Now, as of 13th of November, they have said that they're going to start implementing more cards and sets into Historic and Arena, with the eventual goal that they'll have everything for Pioneer in Arena. Now, this is good, but it then just means that Historic isn't even really a format. It's just some weird fucking side thing that is eventually going to get phased out. So it's a non-rotating format technically, but not really. So no one's ever going to give a shit about it. So Historic is just nothing until it's Pioneer. Now, I can't say how I would handle Historic versus Pioneer versus Paper versus Online, but here are my initial thoughts, and it seems like this makes sense to me anyway. So the first thought is they could have given us back the Kaladesh and Amonkhet sets that were rotated out of Arena, and the code obviously exists for them, and then they could have just started Historic from Kaladesh onwards. However, this does feel pretty arbitrary, and it is. However, realistically, picking a non-rotating format from any set that just isn't the first set ever is inherently going to be arbitrary. I think the actual better version of this idea is, again, they give us back Kaladesh and Amonkhet, and then what they do is whenever Wizards can, they release a new set into Arena. So whatever was before Kaladesh, Eldritch Moon. So whenever they have Eldritch Moon all ready to go, they release that into Arena, and then as such, that also becomes legal to use in Pioneer. So not only do you have sets going forward, you have sets going backwards until we reach Return to Ravnica, which means that the legal sets in Pioneer will grow along with these releases online, which allows paper and online to be synced up, until eventually there are no more sets to be released for Pioneer going backwards, and it's only sets to be released going forwards. Now, I understand that this would take an amount of time, but at the same time, it would make Pioneer very, very interesting, but I certainly think it is better than the current way that they've dealt with Pioneer anyway. If they gave Pioneer an immediate strong presence online, it would definitely have solidified how important it is as a format, or how important they want it to be. Anyway, that brings me to the end of the video. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now remember, go like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitch, blah blah blah, do all that thing, the links are in the bottom. And yeah, make sure to particularly follow us on Twitch, because we do stream a lot. So blah blah blah, like, comment, subscribe and all that shit. I would also quite like to get your feedback on all the points that I have made, to be fair. And if you're still watching, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you later.